Welcome to part 6 of our video. Now we'll be looking at the Lyttleton Constitution. Now, if you notice, we have been talking about constitution currently. So now, each constitution have always been created because of one other constitution had a shortcoming, and each constitution was kind of solving the shortcoming, but was not solving all the whole shortcoming, which now led to the creation of another constitution. So now we are now in Lyttleton Constitution of 1954. Now, the shortcomings of the McPherson Constitution included it had limited legislative powers on the regions, and which made the regional assembly relatively too weak. And now, this is what the Lyttleton Constitution did. The Lyttleton Constitution still retained the 3 regional system. So what it did was very simple. Now, it now gave what we call regional autonomy. Let me explain what is regional autonomy. It means that every region had the ability to control their taxes. Every region had the ability. Every region had their own police. They had their own. They were able to control all the whole funds that they were generating. So if the Eastern region was generating 100,000 naira monthly, it means that the Eastern region will now pay like 20,000 naira to the central government to do central things. While the whole region were doing everything. So this now made the regional assembly very powerful. So in 1954, the first regional elections were held, and the AG in the West won the majority, although there was a bit of parliamentary backstabbing between Awolowo and Azikiwe, but I'm not here to discuss that parliamentary backstabbing for so many reasons. So eventually, AG won the election in the Western region, and Chief Obafemi Awolowo became the first premier of the West. In the North, the NPC, the Northern People's Congress, kind of dominated there and became the, what they call it, and Sir Ahmadu Bello became the first premier of the Northern region. And in the East, the NCNC won the majority. So, every region had what is known as a premier. So the premier were the ones who had power, like the premier's powerful, so they had executive and legislative power, and thereby the regional lieutenant governor became weak, and the premier became powerful, making the regional assembly powerful. So it was under the regime. That is why in the mid-50s and in the late 50s, Obafemi Awolowo was well celebrated for his policy of free education and the establishment of the Cocoa House in Ibadan and everything. That was because he had the control to actually have funds to do projects. So this time made the premiers responsible for their region. So they were able to do projects and do things that they want to do for their people if they want. And also now, the people could now elect their representatives. So Badagry had a constituency. I don't know about Ojo, but every region had a constituency. And every regional had a constituency that they could elect individuals. So if I want to represent Ojo constituency at the regional assembly, I, Obodo Richard, will just have to go and join a party, NCNC, AG, or MPC, or whatever party that existed there, and contest. And if I win, I become a member of the parliament. So people were not allowed to vote their own representative, not just at the regional level, but also at the central level. Now, it now gave Nigerians that Nigerians were now like kind of ruling themselves, but still, they were still like supervised. So the Lyttleton Constitution gave Nigeria self-rule, but it gave us supervisory self-rule. Even some Nigerian historians are often refer to the Lyttleton Constitution as giving Nigeria independence, but we didn't have the independence yet. We just had self-rule, internal self-rule. But still, the Governor General was still the most powerful out of everyone. So he had powers to still do one or two things if he so wishes. But it gave Nigeria a form of self-rule. And this paved the way for eventual independence. That in 1958, Remi Fani Kayode, the father of Femi Fani Kayode, now pushed the motion that Nigeria should be independent in April 2nd, 1960. But the Northern People's Congress, as usual, were not so much eager for independence, but now they were forced to. In 1959, Sir Tafawa Balewa pushed it in the National Assembly in Lagos that the date should be shifted from April 2nd to October 1st, 1960. And eventually, on October 1st, 1960, Nigeria became independent from Britain, and then this takes us to our part 7 of Nigerian history, which is the post-independence Nigeria. Thank you.